Hello, my little love muffins. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. If you knew what just went on behind the scenes, I should even bring my microphone over here. If you knew what just went on behind the scenes, you guys would be rolling. Because one of the things that people say about my social media is that, Cyrissa, you make it look so easy, or Cyrissa, you have so many followers, so it's easy for you. Here's what I want you to know. You're seeing the highlight reel. That is for darn sure. About 5 minutes ago, do you know what was going on? I was having an emotional breakdown because my Wi-Fi wasn't working. I texted my dad frantically, who drove over here. So my dad is here, Nikki is here, and my poor husband, who's supposed to be in a meeting an hour away, also turned around, drove back to fix this. So if you think for a single moment that you are the only one that is ever a hot mess, or struggles on social media, or struggles to go live, or doesn't quite have your crap together, congratulations. You, my friend, are normal. And I am happy to walk you through this live masterclass and lead the way and show you that even if you are a hot mess behind the scenes, you can still have a successful business online and shine and thrive online with social media. And today we're going to talk about how you can crack the algorithm code even if you have a very small following. So here's what I want to know right now. How many of you, if you are in the chat room right now, I have my chat up on my little iPad right here. Can you guys can you tell me, first of all, can you hear me? Is my sound okay? Let me make sure my microphone is on. Can you guys let me know if you can hear me? All right. Give me some feedback. Nikki says you guys can hear me. Praise Jesus. This is like the best day ever. Okay, hopefully it's selected the right microphone. We're just going to go with this and we're going to hope that this works. Okay, welcome to the live masterclass. I am so pumped to lead you guys through this training for the next hour. For the next hour, we're going to talk through all of the things that you need to know. If you are struggling to get reach on social media, you don't want to pay to play, you think people who are saying that you have to pay to play maybe seem a little bit cynical and don't exactly know what they're talking about, you're right. We're also going to talk about how you can feed the Facebook algorithm monster so that way it favors your page and gets you in front of more people for free. And then I'm going to show you these 7 posts that you need to have on your page every single week to get in front of more people. Because when you get in front of more people, you expand your organic reach. When you expand your reach, you meet new people. When you meet new people, you increase your chances of booking. And when you increase your booking, you increase your sales and increase the likelihood that you can be a blessing on your family. And how many of you want that for your own family? So that is what we're going to be talking about right now. And I love that you guys are telling me that you can hear me. Ooh, I thrive off of your energy right now. Before my husband left, I was like, I'm sorry I yelled at you. I'm sorry I snapped. And he was like, girl, just get on camera and glitter down. Well, you didn't say glitter down. He said, go shine, which is like his version of saying glitter down. So I've got a slide deck. So this is going to be a little bit different. Normally, you guys watch me on Facebook Live, and so we're really engaging, and I'm kind of chit-chatting with you guys. This is going to be a little bit more formal because this is a very structured training. So here's what's going to be a little bit different. I've got your comments right here on the iPad. I have a notes PowerPoint presentation that we're going to be going through. And so you're going to see me looking in different places, which I know is kind of a little bit awkward, but bear with me. Okay. First of all, if you are meeting me for the first time, if you registered for this live masterclass and you had no idea who I was, first of all, I love the fact that you're crazy enough to click that sign up button. That makes my heart so happy. But my name is Cyrissa. I own Immerse Photography and Sparkle Society, where I encourage, educate, and empower photographers and creative entrepreneurs to make informed decisions for their business. And right now, you are Sparkle, and I'm so excited. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to start to talk about and look through your social media account. So here's what I want to know right now. Tell me in the comments right now. And Nikki was trying to be super sneaky, you guys, which is why I'm giggling. And she totally just kicked the trash can as she walked by, and she was like, oh. Here's what I want to know right now. Tell me in the comments, what social media platforms are you guys currently using for your business? Be it a photographer, be it a travel agent, what social media platforms are you currently using for your business? So tell me in the comments right now. I want to see what you guys are using. Okay. Can someone tell, there's a couple girls who are having a hard time saying, can you guys, yep, thank you, Christy, thank you. Make sure they hit the play button on the video if that's not automatically, or refresh their screen. Okay, so Jen says she's using Facebook and Instagram. Someone says Instagram as well. Make sure you guys log in with your Facebook account so that way I can see your names. Otherwise, it just says like random guest. I mean, you don't have to. And I know there's a lot of you here on the page watching, but not commenting. Log into the chat room so that we can see you guys, because we had several hundred people registered for this. And I know a lot of you guys are voyeurs. So If you guys look at the bottom where it says 23 online, those are only the people that have logged into the chat room. So like, if you're like a lurker, like log in so we can talk to you. Okay. So Facebook and okay, great. Oh, I see. Stephanie says she's using Snapchat, which is fantastic. Okay. So here's my next question then. Are you happy with how it's currently going? Are you happy with how it's going? Like on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 meaning I love my social media, 1 being like, I don't feel like very confident with what I'm doing. Give me on a scale of 1 to 5. How do you feel about your social media? Are you happy with how it's going right now? Okay. I'm seeing a lot of no's popping up. Okay. That's very no, I'm not. Okay. And then, so here's then the third question. Can you identify, and this is the pivotal question. Can you identify what is holding you back from being successful? Because this is the thing. We're going to talk about this in a little bit. So many people get into Facebook chat rooms and they say, oh, you have to pay to play. Oh, social media doesn't work. Oh, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is if you can't identify why your page isn't getting seen, if you can't identify why your posts aren't showing up, that is your problem. Okay. And look at all the comments, 2s, 3s. If you're watching the replay right now, like very few people are ranking themselves high. Okay. You have to be able to identify the problem in order to fix it. Okay. So if your reality is you are posting something on social media and just hoping for the best, or you're posting on Facebook and Instagram and no one's really seeing your stuff, and so you feel like you should give up. If you're feeling like a fraud because you're posting stuff no one engages, which means they think it's bad, which means you should quit, which means you're not good enough. Okay, if you're struggling with that, and if your time is limited and valuable, and you know your family is important, you know your health is important, you know all of those things are important, God's important, working out's important, all of those things that define a life, you know those things are important, but you know social media has got to get done. But you don't want to spend hours and hours. If that is your reality, if that is where you are at right now, then this is the live training for you. You are in the right spot. Okay. So if you want more engagement, more bookings, and more sales from social media, this is the class for you. Okay. So here is the awkward moment where I'm actually going to flip to my computer screen. So you guys are going to see my PowerPoint presentation. For those of you who are veterans, you know that this typically is the moment where things like crash and burn. So if you could go ahead and let me know when you see this hot pink screen on your TV or on your computer, that would be great. Okay, everyone, and you're going to see my messy desktop here a second. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my entire screen. Hit share. Okay, there we go. Okay, slideshow. Play from current slide. Okay, give me some feedback. Angela says her fingers are crossed. You guys know. You guys know that I'm so bad at this. Okay, let me know if it's working. Tell me in the comments right now as soon. Nikki says she can see it. Yes. Nikki asked me the other day. She's like, do you want me for the webinar? I was like, girlfriend, yeah, I can't do a webinar without you because I don't know if things are working. All right, so here we go. Thank you guys for the feedback in the comments. All right, so here's what I want to know right now. This moment is all about you. So here's the question. Who would be impacted by a woman living, and I want to add, enjoying the benefits of living in confidence? I want you to think about that for a second, because at the heart of everything, this is your why. Who would be impacted if you were confident in your business? If you were confident, which led to more bookings? If you were confident and more happy and joyful in your everyday life, who would be impacted? I want you to tell me in the comments right now. And it can be a name. It can be an initial if you are not comfortable. I know I don't typically say my kids' names on social media. I totally get it. But I want you guys to tell me right now, who would be impacted by a woman living in confidence? Because at the heart of everything, this is what motivates us. Okay? This is everything right here. This is all of the marbles. So tell me, who would be impacted by a woman living in confidence? Yep. Already seen a trend. Family. My family. Keep it going. For me, it would be my husband and my kids. Keep telling me in the comments. I want to hear your answers. Who would be impacted by a woman living in confidence? Okay. What I want to show you right now is how to turn social media into a profit building machine. So here are some statistics that need to be driving all of your decision making. Now, if you don't already have the workbook, hopefully you've had a moment to print that off and look at the social media assessment. If you've not done that, if you scroll down to the bottom of this page, you're going to see a link for the workbook, which is going to walk you through everything that we're talking about for the next hour here. So go ahead and print that out. But here's what I want you guys to know. 78% of warm market audiences, this means people who already know, like, and trust you, report that purchasing decisions are affected by your brand's social media presence. I mean, 78 of people are going to make a buying decision or booking decisions based upon your social media. 35% of cold market audiences, this is meaning people who don't know you, they don't trust you yet, they say they'll be influenced to work with you based upon what they see about your company on social media. Notice they said, they didn't just say like what you're posting, they say what they see about your company on social media. You guys, your presence, your vibe, you guys have heard that saying, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? What you are sharing on social media directly impacts what your clients think about your business and if you're attracting new people. So the rapport of your store, your online presence totally matters, okay? Additionally, 62% of millennials report that they're more likely to make a purchase from a brand that they regularly engage with on social media. So then the question becomes, how do we get that engagement? That's what we're digging into right now. Okay. So these statistics matter because at the end of the day, we need to remember, where are our clients every day? They're on their phones, right? It's in their pockets. It's in their car. They never go anywhere without it. Where are your clients? They're online. They're on social media. So you cannot afford to miss this. You need to take this webinar, this live class, this social media, whatever it is, you need to take it seriously. Okay. So here's the first thing that we're going to talk about. Number one, the algorithm. What is it and why does it matter? Does anybody remember hearing the word algorithm in math class in like middle school or high school? And you're like, I will never need to know this. Yeah, joke's on us, people. Joke's on us. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, what is an algorithm, right? The definition is, it's a process or set of rules to be followed in calculations or other problem-solving operations, especially by a computer. So that little statement right there really tells us a lot about social media. While it is social in nature, while it is relational in nature, at the other hand of the spectrum, we need to recognize that it is also driven by certain rules. Certain things impact us. So if we are doing the right things, if we are not posting the things that we should, or we are posting the things that we should, then we are either going to perform well and exceed on social media, or we're not going to get seen at all. So we have to not only be social, but we also have to be wise and smart to the algorithm, because it controls everything. Period. End of story. Okay. Posting a photo and hoping for the best on social media doesn't work anymore. And it hasn't worked for several years. So if you hear people saying in the chat room that Facebook doesn't work and you have to pay to play, they are probably unaware of social media strategy, and you should not be taking their advice. Okay. So you need to make sure you are wise and smart who you are listening to online. Okay. So the question becomes, well, then why do we have to have an algorithm, right? Like, I've got a page, I'm posting stuff, I've got a business, I'm a good person. Why do we have to have this stupid algorithm? Why can't all my posts be seen, right? How many of you feel that? You have to remember, you guys, that there is a finite amount of posts that can be consumed every single day, right? The average American spends 2 hours a day on social media. And in that time, there is a finite amount of posts that they can consume. So we have to make sure that we are giving out great content, because Instagram and Facebook both go through and they choose the best content to feature. All right. They also have a very limited amount of sponsored and page posts. So it doesn't matter if you're necessarily posting on your page. If you're not creating great content that plays to the algorithm, you are not going to get seen. Additionally, taking it one step farther, I mean, this is overwhelming, isn't it, you guys? If we take it one step farther, Facebook, we know, highlights personal connections and conversations. And if we look at the new mission statement, which says, founded in 2004, Facebook's mission is to give people the power to build community and bring the world closer together. Notice it doesn't say advertise. Notice it doesn't say make money. Okay. It says build community and bring the world closer. Okay. People use Facebook to stay connected with friends and family and discover what's going on in the world and share and express what matters to them. Anywhere in there, does it say business, sales, promotions? Look at that again. What is it that you know? What are some of the words that you are noticing popping up over and over right there? Tell me right now in the comments. What are some of the words? Community, relationships, share what matters, connection. Are you seeing that? We've got to find a way to integrate this into our pages. If we don't, we simply will not get seen. Because here's what most people do. They make a post. They get irritated it doesn't go viral. They tell people you have to pay to play. They cause chaos. Repeat. Okay, that's what people do on social media because they don't understand this. But here's what you're going to do now that you're here. Okay, laying the groundwork. This is what you, my friend, are now going to do. You're going to make a post. You're going to get irritated that it doesn't go viral. This is where it changes. You're going to remind yourself that you don't own social media, that you don't get to make the choices of what's seen and what's not. You recognize that you are renting space from Zuckerberg. I want everyone to tell me that in the comments. And if you've been on any live call with me before, you've heard me say this. Tell me in the comments right now this thing. I don't own social media. Okay? Everyone tell me that. I don't own social media. We have to remember that. It's not ours. So remind yourself that you don't own it. Then know better. Do things like this. Hop on live masterclasses, read blog posts, join workshops that teach you how to know better, and then you can do better and repeat. That is the difference between you and someone else. The only difference is you recognize where you fit into the social media strategy, and you understand that not just you need to create beautiful photos or great content, but you also need to understand social media. Okay, so that's like the long and the short of why stuff gets seen and doesn't get seen on social media. And we could dig into that so much more. But at the heart of the matter, we have to remember Facebook has thousands of posts every single day. It has to choose the best. It doesn't have an option. It has to choose the best. And so what we need to do is we need to feed the Facebook monster. We need to beat the algorithm by giving it the things that it wants. So then the question is, how do we rank higher and earn more visibility? Okay. And Angela, I love what she said, that I don't own social media. I rent from the Zuck. Exactly. Okay. All right. So here's 5 key influences when it comes to ranking well on social media. Okay. If you do not already have your workbook printed out, go ahead and grab it right now. Grab your phone, just walk around while you listen to me, go print this bad boy out. Or at least, at the very least, grab a notebook and write down these 5 key influences that impact where you rank on social media. Okay. So the first thing, number 1, is what you post. Okay. So at any given time, different types of posts on Facebook are going to perform differently. So for the last, I'd say 1.5 to 2 years, video has been performing very well, right? You guys, when you look through your newsfeed, how many of you see video over and over? Just hit the number 1 if you see a lot of videos in your newsfeed, right? And this goes for live videos, actually rank the highest, followed by pre-recorded videos follow that. Other posts that tend to do well are posts that include conversation starters. So if you ask a question on your page and a lot of people start chiming in and then you respond and you continue the conversation, it's not just, you know, a one-way discussion. If you have a conversation, that performs well. Articles and blog posts, they don't necessarily perform as well, although there are certainly exceptions to the rules. Photos that get tags perform well. So you have to understand that there's different type of posts, different type of content that you can put on social media. And each of those things is going to rank differently in the algorithm. And this is an ever-changing thing, you guys. So what's working today could be completely different by tomorrow. Okay. So the second thing that matters is when you post. So what you post matters, but when you post. If you go to your Facebook page or your Instagram Insights, you're going to see when your clients are online. And typically what I recommend doing is I recommend posting about 30 minutes before the peak of your engagement or the peak of your online presence. Okay. This gives your post a little bit of time to get out there. You get some people engaging with it. And then when your majority of your audience is online, then it's going to blast out in front of all of them and you are going to get way more visibility. I know for me, how many of you guys do this as photographers? A lot of us are night owls, right? And I know that I would be editing photos. I would be up at like 2 a.m. and I would post a photo at 2 a.m. and I'd be like, why is nobody engaging with this? You guys know why? Nobody's awake. That's the problem. When you post matters. You also have to think about, and this, if you remember nothing else from this live call, remember this, okay? You can look at your insights and you can figure out when your clients are online, but you have to take it one step farther. What's their mentality when they're online? Like if we look at the statistics of how people engage with social media, most people wake up and they grab their phone before their feet have hit the floor. But if you think about that person who's like still in bed, haven't brushed their teeth, haven't put on clothes yet, the dog needs to go out, the kids are about to wake up, is that person in a position where they're like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to book a photo shoot right now. No, that's not what they're thinking. What about lunchtime? Okay, is that a time when people might book? Maybe, depending upon your demographic. What about evening? What about after the kids go to bed? Is that a moment where people are going to be highly engaged with content? You've got to think about your audience when they're online and their mental frame, okay? Their mental peace of mind or frame of mind. That's the right word, frame of mind. You've got to think about that when you post, because if you post when someone's not in a position to make a buying decision, your post could fall flat, even if you're posting at the right time. The third thing that matters is who engages, right? So Facebook looks at the people that are engaging with your post. So if I have, you know, my mom, my grandma, my team, they're all interacting with my post, that's great. But over time, Facebook's going to be, oh, that person always interacts with that post. Like, man, that's no big deal. Whereas if I have, and I think this is where wedding photographers have it made because they have bridal parties, they've got a lot of people coming to engage with their stuff. If you've got new people coming to engage with your stuff who've never engaged with you before, Facebook goes, oh, people are coming to this page. It's not just the people that are already camped out here. There's new people coming to this page. This must be a good one. And it's going to show it to more people, again, for free. All right. Additionally, Facebook looks at who is interacting with you. So if you have someone who's an influencer, maybe they have their own Facebook page, maybe when they post, they get a lot of engagement on their own pages, Facebook's going to look at them as a valuable user. But if you have someone who like never posts, never engages, and they engage with your stuff, well, it's going to help. It's not going to help as much as someone who we would call a Facebook influencer. So who engages matters. So what you post, when you post, who engages, and how quickly that engagement happens. And this is why I don't want you guys posting at 2 a.m. because even though, yes, people might see it when they wake up in the morning, you're probably going to not get a bunch of engagement quickly. And so this is why it's important to have a call to action, which we're going to talk about, but we want to try to get that engagement as quickly as possible. You guys will hear me and you'll see us, even one of my clients will talk about this in a little bit. One thing that I do is I coach my clients on how to tag themselves in their photos on social media. And I do this for a bunch of different reasons, but one of those reasons is I'm going to text them right before it goes live and I'm going to say, hey, go tag yourself. Because if I make a post and then my client goes in and they tag themselves and then they engage with it and they do that quickly within moments or minutes of me posting, Facebook goes, oh, wow, people are really excited about this. I should show this to more people. So what we're doing these things, and there's one more thing, you know, when we do all of these things, you guys, we're feeding the Facebook monster. We're feeding the algorithm. We're saying like, look, this is what I know to be true you want from me. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play your silly little game. I'm going to play your reindeer game and I'm going to give you what you want. And I'm going to get in front of more people. So think about what you post, when you post, who engages, how quickly that engagement happens, and what type of engagement it is. Tell me in the comments right now, what is your favorite type of engagement to get on your post? Is it comments? Is it reactions, meaning like the thumbs up, the heart, the angry, or shares? What is your favorite type of engagement? Because each of those pieces of engagement plays differently into the algorithm, right? So if we get a basic thumbs up, that's going to help a little bit. Now, if I have someone though who's going to go over to the angry face or the heart or the crying or the wow face, they're going to give me a reaction that's different from the thumbs up that tells Facebook like, oh, this person not only wanted to react, but they also cared enough to go to the next step and give me one of the different reactions. Okay. That's almost Facebook's way, you guys. It's almost like a scale. It's Facebook's way of judging how engaged or how passionate someone is about your post. Do you know this? So how many of you have joined me on a live video and you have heard me say like, hey, if this makes you super sad, give me the sad face, give me the sad reaction, or like show me the angry face, or show me the ha 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 face, or the whatever, hit the heart. How many of you have heard me say that? That's for a reason. I'm trying to draw out that engagement, even though maybe from my lurkers, right? And that's okay. We just want them to engage somehow. Okay. And I know some of you are lurkers. That's okay. You're still loved here. Right. So, and I love what I'm seeing in the comments. People say they love tags, they love comments and shares. Absolutely. Okay. So engagement pieces. Okay. The reactions. The second thing that really plays in is comments. Facebook loves, as we think about that mission statement, Facebook loves conversations. So they love it when someone posts something and then someone else responds and then that other person responds again. That is a conversation. That is perceptions, or that is opinions being drawn out or explained or negotiated or debated. Facebook loves that. So someone said, I think Adrian might have been, you said like, oh, you know, there's 26 comments on my post, but I feel bad because a couple of them are for me interacting with my clients. No, don't feel bad about that. That is fantastic. Hi, Candy. That is fantastic because that shows Facebook that you're not just posting and sitting back and waiting for people to engage with you. You are also giving engagement and providing or giving to the Facebook community. And that's what it wants to see. So comments are great. Conversations are better. The next thing that is great that Facebook loves and that we love to have happen is shares. Now, I know that there is mixed feelings about shares. Right now in the comments, I want you guys to tell me, how do you guys feel when someone shares your post? How many of you are excited because you're like, yeah, I got to share? And then how many of you kind of get ticked off like, daggone it, they're going to get all the comments and reactions on their page and I want it on my page? How do you feel right now? Tell me, do you love it or hate it right now in terms of people sharing your post? Because again, the type of engagement you get matters. And this is why we want to have a strong call to action and tell our people exactly what it is that we want them to do. Okay, so what type of engagement do we get? I personally love shares, right? And so the truth of it is when someone shares your post, right, they share it onto their page. If their friends comment and interact with it, it's going to show up on their newsfeed or their page, and we don't see it on our page. So we don't get the, you know, vanity metrics that say like, oh, I had 100 comments, or, oh, I had this many reactions. Like we don't have those vanity metrics, those bragging rights. But you know what, girls, I could give a crap about that. Why? Because sometimes that invisible engagement, I want everyone to type those two words, invisible engagement. Okay. Invisible engagement. That matters more than almost anything else, because if you have someone share something, we have to think about how that plays into the algorithm, right? Okay. When someone shares your post, not only is it a great post that they're engaging with, but they like it enough to share it with their friends. And that tells Facebook, this is the best content out there. And it's so good that you want to share it with your friends. And that cultivates community on your site, on your page. And that plays into the Facebook mission statement. So the type of engagement you get matters into your algorithm. Okay. So I want to know right now, think about what you have been posting, you know, over the last week or the last month or year. What is, I want everyone to tell us in the comments right now, what has been a really popular post for you? And then take it to that next step and say, all right, well, why did that perform well? So it's been a really popular post for you, and why did that perform well, you think? Based upon what we just talked about, based upon those things right there, what post performed well and why do you think it performed well? Take it to that next step, because here's the thing, you guys, and you hear me say this over and over and over because I'm a trained teacher. I've got a master's degree and I love it. I want you guys to just regurgitate what I'm telling you to do. Like, I want you to understand why certain things are happening. I want you to be able to problem solve. I want you to be able to think through things. And that way, if something performs well, you can look at it and you can say like, oh, this is why it performed well. Or, oh, this, you know what, shoot, I made a mistake. That's probably why that didn't perform well. Okay. Erica cracking me up. So what is a post that performed well and why did it perform well? So Erica says she did a live video because Cyrissa made me. Yep. If you look up hashtag Cyrissa made me do it, you'll see a couple posts like that on Instagram. It's a real thing. right? But sometimes it's easier when someone bosses you around, tells you what to do, right? We wouldn't do it on our own. Like Nikki, poor Nikki does it all the time. Like when she was hired 2 years ago, and I'm like looking at her laughing right now. I was like, oh, I just need someone to do admin work. And it turned into like, oh, Nikki's tips and tricks. And oh, Nikki, can you go live? And we joked like, this was not in the job description, Cyrissa. And so she's like snickering over there. You know what? Hashtag Cyrissa made you do it, right? You're here to be better, not be comfortable, right? Right, Sparkles? So keep telling, keep those coming, okay? When you have a better strategy, you get more engagement, you have loads of value, and this is what leads to more bookings in the long run. So understanding the algorithm, understanding what you have to do. And guys, in Sparkle Media, we dig into this so much more. I know this is a very high look, but so many people say, do you see Melissa's comment? She said, hashtag not in the job description. So many people, you know, they don't understand why social media does or doesn't work for people. You understand why, and you can problem solve and think through it. This is what matters at the end of the day. So we dig into this a ton more in Sparkle Media, but for right now, this is like the surface introductory level of what you need to know about the algorithm. Think about what you are posting because it matters, okay? Because it matters, okay? Now, we're not done, okay? We're not done, so nobody go away. But before we move on, I want you to tell me in the comments right now, because people who verbalize their goals are way more likely to make them happen. And because you're here, you're not someone who just sits on your bonbons and watching Netflix. I mean, all the time, like sometimes. Do you guys know I learned how to binge watch on New Year's Day of this year? I was so proud of myself. And Downton Abbey was one of my first ones. Devastated. Absolutely devastated. So sometimes it's okay if you sit on your couch in your underwear and watch Netflix. Okay, sometimes. But for the most part, you're here because you're a go-getter. You're going to glitter done, right? So right now, I want you to tell me in the comments one thing that you're going to be doing differently starting now when it comes to your algorithm. So think about maybe what you're posting, when you're posting, what type of calls to action or what type of engagement you're trying to evoke from your clients. What is one thing, just short and sweet, like 5 words. What is one thing, tell us in the chat, that you're going to be doing differently starting right now? Stephanie says, posting more live videos. Yes. Angela says, more is better time of the day. Yes. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I want to hear it. What are you going to do differently? Because I don't want you to just sit and waste an hour with me. I want you to take what I'm teaching you and apply it to your business and actually make it happen. Because when you do that, that is when you succeed. And that is why you are here. Okay. Okay. Heidi says, coaching her clients to work for you. Yes. So smart. Elizabeth says, pay attention to what time she's posting. Candy says, more lives. Our polls. Ooh, polls are fantastic. I'm posting a half an hour before your peak time using insights. Yes. Posting during, sorry, the comments are going so fast. Posting during peak times. Absolutely. You guys, this is so fantastic. Think about your goal, and I want you to write it in your workbook right now. What is your goal? Okay. Because this can feel, I'm going to just be honest with you. This can feel very overwhelming if you try to do it all at one time. So I want you to think of one thing that you're going to be doing differently starting now and start with that. Okay. So be more intentional with your posts. That's a great one. That's a great one, Stephanie. Okay. So here's the third thing. And this is the most important thing that we're going to dig into right now. Even if you don't understand the algorithm or how to feed it, and this is the first time you're getting introduced to this content right here, right now is the most important stuff. Okay. So the 7 posts that you must have on your page to succeed and shine online. Because what we post to grow our pages matters, and it affects our booking. So right now we're going to talk about these 7 posts that you must have on your page. And I'm sharing a bunch of my rockstar clients who are in Sparkle Media. So excited about that. We're going to talk about the 7 posts you must have. Okay. All right. So I'm so excited about this. You guys, I'm so excited about this. So I came up with a little acronym for you guys. One of my friends did a webinar last month, and I watched it, and she had a cute little acronym for her strategy for her clients. And I was like, oh my gosh, why have I never done that? Because I tell you guys, like, this is what you need to post. This is what you need to do. But sometimes it's hard to remember. So I have an acronym. You ready? I'm sure you're not surprised. We're going to call this, you ready? The Sparkle Strategy. And we're going to figure out exactly Nikki's laughing at me, the 7 things you need to post on your social media accounts every single week to get seen in the newsfeed. So even if you don't fully understand the algorithm, if you do these 7 things, you're going to be okay. All right. Number 1, and we're going to break all of this down, I promise, okay? I'm going to get all of these. Once you see Sparkle on the screen, I want you guys to do a screenshot so that you have it, okay? It's in your workbook as well, but if you don't have your workbook or you want to keep it on your phone, go ahead and screenshot this once I get everything up on the screen, okay? I'll tell you when. So first one, S, is shareable content. This is like the pièce de resistance. Pièce de resistance. Is that how I say that, Nikki? I'm not fancy, and I took Spanish. She said she's not fancy either. Okay, you guys know what I'm trying to say. Okay, that is like the holy grail. Bring out your dead. Okay, moving on. Pretty with a purpose. So you don't want to just post pretty photos. Sparkle. You want to have a purpose behind it. A, ask for engagement. I love that you guys are loving Sparkle strategy. That makes my heart so happy. And Heather, I love that you were trying to say that big fancy word too, and it's confusing for you because big words are sometimes hard. Okay, A, ask for engagement. R, relatable. This is huge. Remember at the beginning of this live call, we talked about how people make decisions, buying decisions based on how they interact with you, especially millennials. We've got to be relatable. We've got to be personal. I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay. Okay. Knowledge-based post. You need to act like the freaking professional. I want you to say in the comments right now, all of you, regardless if you're a photographer or not, because I know we have a lot of our Disney girls in here. Hey girl, hey. I want you to say, I'm the pro in the comments right now. And I'm not going on until all of you do it. And if you're watching the replay right now, write in your workbook, say, I'm the pro. I'm not going on until you do it. That's right. I'm somehow watching you because that's not creepy at all. That's right. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. That's right. You are the pro. And you need to start acting like it. When I was looking at a lot of my clients' pages and asking for people to give me like sample post, a lot of people really struggle with creating knowledge-based posts. And so we're going to talk about this right now because this really, really matters. And it sets you up for, you know, it just gives you authority, if nothing else. Okay. L stands for, of course, my favorite. You guys all know this. Live video. And finally, E, exit social media. Probably not what you expected me to say, the social media loving girl, but E stands for exit social media. So I'm going to give you guys this right now. And I love it. All of you are saying I'm the pro in the comments. That is fantastic. I want everyone right now to screenshot this. Either grab your phone, take a photo of it, or screenshot it on your computer. Okay. You're not cheating. You're not like breaking the rules. Like I'm telling you, go ahead and screenshot this. Okay. It's in your workbook. And if you don't, if you're just hopping on here, I know there's a lot of you that are. If you're just hopping on, if you scroll to the very bottom of this page, I'll be back on camera in a little bit. But if you scroll to the bottom of the page, then you'll find the link to the workbook down below. Okay. So everyone have your screenshot. Say, just let me know if you guys have got your screenshots. Yeah, we good? Can I go on? Okay. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with social media. You ready? The problem with most people on social media, with their post, with their ads, whatever, or their strategy, the problem is most of us go for the kill. Look for the book now. Buy now. Contact me now. And in turn, we act like a used car salesman. Hashtag the truth hurts. Sometimes, you guys, people just want to kick the tires. They just want to walk around. They just want to look around. They want to see if your place is clean. They want to see if you clean your cars, if it's shiny, if the lights are working, if you look presentable when you talk to, like, they want to walk around. They want to kick the tires. They don't want to book now. They don't want to book now, buy now. So if you are judging your social media success based upon your bookings per se, I think that's an incorrect metric. You need to be judging your social media success based upon long-term growth, based upon how much your page is growing, and then how many people actually take that next step in their relationship with you and they leave social media and they go to your website. They go to your email list. Because what we do on social media, you guys, it's not a quick hit. It's not a sprint. It is a marathon. You guys have heard me say that over and over and over and over and over. We are going to see the results, the fruits of what we're doing right now. We're going to see the results in 3 to 6 months. We're not going to see them right now. So if you post something, and this is like the thing that kills me, I posted or I ran an ad and nobody booked. Well, duh, because you acted like a used car salesman. Stop it. Have some strategy. Because when you do, and this is like my favorite thing, this was my personal best right here. This is fall of 2016, okay? This is proof that social media, when done with strategy, works, and it works very well. This is my inbox, okay? And you can't see the timestamps on this, but I sent an email out at 8 p.m. and it said, hey, I'm now booking fall sessions. And in, you ready for it? 8 minutes. 8 minutes, I was sold out. The entire fall season. So by August 14th of 2016, I was sold out until 2017. okay? That was immediately after I'd raised prices. My clients spent on average over $1,000 with me. Usually it's more like the $1,200 to $1,400 range. My clients, I just raised prices on them. I just announced my sessions and they sold out, and I didn't have a blog, and I didn't optimize my website with SEO. The only way I grew my Immerse photography company, not Sparkle, but Immerse, was social media. So I'm telling you right now, this works. Okay. So here's what I want to say. I'm going to get into those 7 posts right now. If you have a question, this would be a great time to throw it in the comments, because I am going to do a live Q&A at the end. I'm going to come back on camera and go live and answer your questions. So Nikki is manning the chat room. I think I saw Melissa and Christy in there as well. Make sure that if you guys have a question, put hashtag glitter done followed by your question. That way it really pops out to the team. Sometimes the comments move really quickly and it's hard to keep up with it. But watch or post glitter done in there and then post your questions. I'm going to probably take like 3 to 5 questions. Just keep them relevant, if you don't mind, to today's live masterclass topics. And or Sparkle Media, either one of those 2 things. If it's completely like, hey, how do I do email marketing? Like, I want to make sure that I honor everyone's time and we stay really true to our content. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and dig into the Sparkle strategy. S stands for what? Everyone tell me in the comments. What does S stand for? Yes, it's on your screen. It is that shareable content, right? That is the shareable content that we all want. So what exactly is shareable content? Okay. According to Hootsuite, which is a social media management program that I used for years, even though I don't anymore. According to Hootsuite, the average reach, ready? The average reach is 10.7% of your followers. Okay. And these are pretty recent metrics. So if you think about your post right now on your page and how many people are being reached, if you are having about 10% of your people see your stuff, you're doing a national average. If you're having more people than that see your stuff, then you're doing really well. And if you're having less, then you need to step up your game a little bit. Okay. And we all want to be well above that average. Okay. So we know that only 10% of our followers see our posts. So it's important that we create shareable content to help us get in front of new people. So what does that mean? This means things that make your clients say, oh, me too. You know what? I've got to show my friend. Like earlier today, I took a little Facebook timeout because I was stressed out with my technology. I got online and there was a hilarious video, and it was a dog behind a fence, and there was a sign that said, beware of dog. And then the camera panned down and it was like this little scruffy dog, like not like growling at the camera, but like doing the thing where it looks like the dog was smiling. And I just cracked up because my friend Courtney has this dog. We called him the shelter dog because he came from a shelter, and he's got this like ridiculous underbite. And we pretend that he's like in a mob because the way he behaves, like he seems sweet with his humans, but with other dogs, he's mean. We always talk about like, I'm going to cut you is what he says. Like that's his personality. So I saw that and I laughed. I was like, oh my gosh, she needs to see this. And I shared it on her page. Okay. Facebook wants us to create content that people either are going to look at and say, oh my gosh, me too, or content that's so great that we want to show our friends, right? That's what they're looking for. They're looking for that community. So we have to give that to them. And Facebook also loves the Facebook audience. They love it when you share life hacks. So if you're like, oh my gosh, you guys, I found this really cool way to do this. People love that. And they're going to share it like recipes. Go crazy. All right. Now, I went into my Sparkle Media group. And I asked my girls, and this is my favorite one. Like Karen, if you're in the chat right now, I love you. I love you for giving me this. But I asked the girls currently in Sparkle Media, because it's one thing to hear me say like, oh, this is what I do and it works for me. It's another thing to see other people just like you doing it well. So this is Karen. Okay. And she did a live video, and this could actually fit under a bunch of these different categories. But here's what Karen says. She did a live video and she was kind of cryptic. She says, please do not do this. It's bad. Very bad. And what this actually was referring to was, you know how people did that thing where there was like, create your royal name. And it was like, what's your grandma's maiden name? And what's your this? And what street did you go up on? And it really gave away all your answers to your security questions, right? Okay. So I did a video out on my page, and Karen was like, that's a great idea. Because all my girls know if you see me doing something, you should probably copy it and do the same thing on your own page. So Karen did the same thing. And here's what she said. She said, I have 1,800 followers, and she had a reach of 2,000 people. Her normal reach is normally 200 to 400. And 40 pieces of total engagement. I looked horrible and stuttered all over my words, but people appreciated the PSA. Okay. So if you look at her numbers right there, like 7 comments, 25 reactions, that's not terribly impressive, but it's that shares. And this is why I said earlier, don't get jacked up about the vanity metrics, because sometimes you guys, it's that invisible engagement that matters. So she got more free reach on this post and she actually had followers. That's amazing, simply because she did best practices. She created shareable content. Okay. The second thing that I want you to think about is content that you can share. P is pretty with a purpose. So here's what I mean by this. Okay. I don't want you to I don't want you just to post a photo and be like, oh, wow, look at so-and-so, Susie. Susie's adorable. She killed her senior session. Ta-da. Like, okay, let's take it a step farther. We want to establish ourselves as the authority, right? So here's what I would rather you say instead. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, Susie killed her senior session. But here's what I want you to notice. This is a little like insider tip. Do you guys see the way I put the sunlight behind her? And so the camera rays or the sun flare is streaming into my camera and it outlines her. Do you see how it's like glowing and she's almost outlined against the background? That's a professional photography technique that really makes her pop out and really makes a gorgeous portrait. Let me know what you guys think about that. Okay. So, and that was a really crappy call to action, but you get the idea. So what I was doing right there is I wasn't just posting a pretty photo, but I was posting with a purpose, because the reason we want to do that is we want to help our clients understand what good photography looks like. So when they see other photographers, they're like, oh, that photographer isn't doing this thing that I know that good pro photographers, or that blurry background thing, or that whatever, like, or not shooting on railroad tracks, right? Okay. So we want to help define what good photography is. And so when you post with a purpose, okay, with a goal of to inform, or a goal of helping them envision their own images or envisioning their own photo shoot with you, that gives us a purpose. Okay. Another thing that you can do is you can, and I have a funny story I'll share with you guys. But people love to help. So when you post a pretty photo or you post a piece of content and you have a purpose of growing your community or getting engagement, people love to help. So think about questions that you could ask or ways that you allow your community to interact with you. So last night, and if there's any guys, I know we have mainly women, there's probably like 98% women and like 2% guys. So glitter guys, just bear with me for a second. But here in Ohio, y'all, it's hot. Like we just skipped spring. We went from like winter to summer. And so I'm at the pool yesterday. I'm walking around the pool and I had some chafing going on. Is anybody relating to me? Like anybody had this happen? I was at the pool and I had some chafing and it was a little bit uncomfortable and I've never experienced this before. And so I got into my Facebook community. I said, all right. And I posted a selfie, but I was like, all right, girls, there has got to be some solution to this chafing situation. What do I do about this? Okay. And now I wouldn't necessarily recommend you posting that on your page. That was in a private group of all women. We really focus on like beauty and stuff, the confidence, all that stuff. But it got a ton of engagement. Why? It was a post with a purpose. And did I truly need to know the answer? Yes, absolutely. So if you saw that, please know that was very 100% authentic. But at the same time, I was cultivating community and giving people an opportunity to help me. So I want you to think about the posts that you create on your page. How many posts that you have on your page give your clients a true opportunity to help you, right? How many of you give your clients an opportunity to help you? And how many of you are simply just posting white noise? Okay. So I want you to think about the content that you are creating on your page. Okay, moving on. So let me give you some examples from my clients. So this one is from Grasshopper Photography, okay? And she said, I'm trying to decide which wall cluster I should showcase on my website. Please help me by voting for your favorite. All right, so she said this got instant comments. So again, feeding the Facebook monster, right? Instant communication. I got instant comments and was very popular on a Monday night. I currently have 1,280 followers. This post reached 738 followers. And we know, based upon the statistic that I just shared with you guys, that about 10% of people see your stuff, right? So that means about 120, 130 people should have seen her stuff. So she well exceeded that average. She reached 738 people and her normal reach is only 450. Before she started listening to me, they were more like 350. Her total number gauge is 32 with 217 posts clicked. That is a high number, and that is why she got all of that engagement. And what I love about this, you guys, is she wasn't just posting like a pretty photo, but she had a purpose. Does this allow her clients to give her honest feedback and help? Yes. Does this help her clients envision what their photos might look like in their living room, on their walls? Yes. Also, is this stuff that is maybe even Pinterest worthy that they may share with their friends? Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay. The next thing, A, is ask for engagement. This is the thing that so many people ask. So you need to include on almost every single post some sort of call to action. Okay. So we know now that the average post gets seen by about 10.7% of our audience, but write this number down. Only 4.2% of them will actually engage with it. It's a depressing number, isn't it? Write that number down. 4.2% will actually engage. In an Ad Espresso study, only 56% of business posts had a call to action, meaning 44% of them didn't include a call to action at all. Here's the thing. If you've got someone engaging with you and reading your stuff, your clients cannot read your mind. So we have got to tell them exactly what we want them to do. Do you want them to comment? Ask a question. Do you want them to like it? Ask them to give you a reaction. Do you want them to share it? Do you have a friend that you think would enjoy it? Tag them, share it on their wall. Hit that share button. Tell them what you need them to do. Okay. The learn more and sign up, and this is just a fun fact for your Facebook page, but the learn more and sign up buttons are the best call to action buttons on your page. Fun fact for you. Okay. So here's some examples of clients doing it well. So Adrian Zwart, Adrian, did I say that? I feel like I never say your last name right, but Adrian says, my best recent call to action post had 341 people reached, 26 comments, 1 share, and 4 reaction. I have 349 followers. So you guys, she saw probably 99.5% of her followers. Okay. And she said, lately, I'm lucky if I get 100 people seeing it. So she almost reached all of her people for free by cracking the algorithm code. And all she did was ask them, do you guys like black and white or color? Like classic. And try not to ask that like every day. I know you're immediately like, oh, I'm going to do that. Like try to refrain, do that like once a month. But you guys, that is highly effective. On the flip side, Kirsten Lee Photography says, when you can't decide what to share, you share a few. Show this adorable family some love by liking this post or even comment on it. Do you see how she wasn't spammy? She wasn't promotional. She just said, hey, you should like this or comment on it for this family. Show them some love. And if we look here, we can see she's got about 2,400 followers, and she enjoyed 625 people reached on this post, which is a little bit around like 20-ish%, and typically get 150 to 300 reach. But this post got 3 shares, 8 comments, and 23 likes, plus comments on other images. Woo-hoo! Okay. I've been texting my clients and telling them that their sneak peek is posted and to please comment and share. Most of the time they do. This is going to positively impact her in the long run. Okay. Do you see how she's asking for that engagement? Okay. The next piece is relatable post. Relatable post. Okay. So these are things that help your client see you, not just as a professional, but they also make you appear relatable. Human. Tells a story. Okay. So this is where you're going to post selfies behind the scenes. And you heard, if you were at the online with us at the very top of the hour when I hopped on, you know that my Wi-Fi was a hot mess, and my dad, my husband, and my beautiful sparkle assistant, Nikki, were all here, and I was having a mental breakdown in tears before going live because I couldn't get all my tech cooperating. Okay. And I'm open with you guys about that and telling you about that because I think it's important, because we see these perfectly curated feeds and we are exhausted. How many of you are exhausted by the perfection that you see online? Right? It makes you feel less than, it makes you feel horrible about yourself, and it makes you feel like you're never going to stack up. So when you post things that are relatable and help your clients see you as a human being and realize that they can relate to you, that makes all the difference in the world. So one of my beloved clients, she's actually here local, Erica from Cargill Photography. She says, y'all know we love weddings, but I love marriage even more. Today we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary. Look at those babies. We're checking out for the rest of the day and weekend to taking our boys to a restaurant from our first date. We hope your Thursday and long weekend is marvelous. Okay. And then she pieced out. Okay. She's got 1,800 page likes, and this post has a reach of 849. So she's reaching about 45% of her people, which is 4 times the national average. Okay. She has 113 likes and 13 comments. That's the highest reach of any post that she's seen this year, and so much more engagement than normal. Okay. You guys, she's a photographer. She posted a photograph from another photographer, and yet it's her most and highest performing post on her page. Okay. It's not because her photos are bad. They're not. They're gorgeous. But this is telling the personal side. And that's what people love. I know Alyssa's saying that she loves it. I know. Doesn't she look like a baby? Like, I love this photo. She's so happy in this photo. Okay. On the flip side, we have Azure Photography. And she said, this post blew up on my page unexpectedly. I had no idea so many people wanted to see a photo of me. Yes. Right. How many of you are like, you roll your eyes at the thought of posting a selfie? Right? Doesn't matter. This is what people want. They want to relate to you. She said, I had 161 reactions and 64 comments. She says, I have 2,643 people liking her page, and a normal post might give around 6 to 10 reactions and no comments. Organic reach was 1,600, the best in the last 10 days. Look at that fun photo. You guys, posting things that are relatable matters. All right. The next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is knowledge-based posts. And this is the thing. How many of you feel that this is the hardest thing to come up with? Okay. So these are value-added posts, tips, tutorials. How many of you feel really insecure about posting some sort of tip or tutorial on your page? Like, just fess up in the comments right now. Like, tell me how you feel. Like, do you feel good about it? Do you feel nervous, scared? Like, how do you feel? Intimidated? Because this is the type of post that really elevates you as the professional, but this is the thing that most people avoid. Okay. So here's what you have to ask yourself. Do your clients like you? Do they want you? Or do they need you? Right? And I'm loving the comments. Everyone's like, duh, totally nervous. Okay. Do your clients like you, want you, or need you? And when you think about that right now, write it in your notes. Your clients like you, want you, or need you? Because if they like you, they're going to follow your page. They might like some of your stuff every now and then, but that's probably the extent of it. Do they want you? Okay. Do they want to be you? Do they want to hang out with you? Do they want to see your stuff in their newsfeed? Are they excited? Okay. That's great. But it's also very fickle. Okay. Some of your most loyal friends can be your biggest haters in the long run. You've all seen that. You've all had someone turn on you, right? We've all experienced that, and it's horrible, but it's the reality. So when people want you, they want to hang out with you, they want to be you, they want to see your stuff, that's great. But in the long term, it might not be best. If they need you, that is where you want to be. Okay. Because when someone needs you, when they need to follow your page because you add value, you show them how to take better photos of your kids or their kids. You show them like, oh, you have a newborn. Here's the best way to take that 1 week, 2 week, 4 week photo. Like, here's the best way to do it. Go get a stuffed animal, show the comparison, go to this Etsy shop, buy the stickers. When you give them the little tips and tricks that make their life better, you establish yourself as the professional and you become someone that they need to see in their newsfeed. And that is the difference between someone who grows and who has comeback or repeat clients and someone who does not. Okay, so you need to be posting knowledge-based content. Now, I'm going to post a little bit of a different or share a different example. This is Kelly, Lifetime of Clicks Photography, one of my longtime clients. I love this chick. And you'll see that this post says, let's do Project 52. One theme, 1 week, one photo a week, simple. Okay, and so what she does is instead of posting tips and tricks on her page, she uses it as a way to entice people to join her group. Okay, so she does this. She doesn't post her tips and tricks on her page, but she lets it be a perk of being part of her group. So you guys, everything I'm teaching you, this applies to pages, but it also applies to groups. So that would be a really smart way for you to grow your group and say, hey, I'm going to provide this exclusive content, but you got to be in my group to get it. All right, let's move on to the L. So L stands for everybody's favorite live video, right? So our beloved Candy from Froggy Photography said 465 followers, and this live video reached 971 of them, meaning she got about twice the reach that she has followers. She had 382 views and 43 reactions, comments, or shares. Normally, I only have 30 to 100 reach, so this is amazing. All she did was do a 3-minute live video. Same thing with my lovely friend Kelly Jo Photography from Photos by Joe. She said, by far my biggest reach, over 3,000 views, 55 comments, and 6 shares, and 53 likes. I have 465 followers. You guys, look at that. Look at that. 3,000 views with only 465 followers for free because she did a live video. My normal reach can be between 100 and 400. That is a crazy statistic. You cannot afford to ignore live video. So live video typically gets, write this down, 6 times the engagement of normal post. It's incredibly high ranking in the algorithm. And this number is going to blow your mind. According to TechCrunch, there are 100 million hours of video watched every single day on Facebook. Let me say that again. On Facebook alone, people watch 100 million hours of video content every single day. Why are you not leveraging this? If people are watching it, you need to be there. And 65% of those are on social media. Crazy, right? All right, the last thing is E, which is what? We got to get them to exit social media. Exit social media. I know this is not what you anticipate, but you guys, we have to recognize that we do not own social media. So the goal with social media is to market, but marketing isn't booking. Okay, that's not client relationships. Well, I mean, it is relationships, but it's not client maintenance. We want to take our social media pages, we want to expand our reach, get in front of more people, and then invite them to take the next step, to contact us, to sign up for our email list, to go over. And someone just said, I can't get people to view my live posts. Stephanie, there is a blog post on my website. Can someone post it in the comments right now? It's my most recent one that talks about a live tribe and how to get more people engaging. That will be the game changer. That will be pivotal for you, Stephanie. Pivotal. Okay. So we want to get people off of social media and onto our email list or onto our websites. Okay. And I apologize for the really bad screen grab. I had to take 2 screen grabs here. So it's a little bit chunky as it's put together, or a little bit gritty here, but just, it's not her fault. It's mine. Okay. So rocking R&R Photography says, I sent people over to Instagram to see more sneak peeks from the session. I had 23 reactions, 4 comments, 3 shares, and 770 reach on this post. Typically, I only have 1 to 2 comments and an average of 125 reach with my 401 followers. Again, you guys, 770 reach, only 401 followers for free. Anyone who is telling you that you have to pay to play is wrong. You simply have to know how to play to this algorithm. This stuff matters. Okay. Elizabeth Simpson, another beloved client of mine, lives a couple hours south of me. She is going to be a beauty revived photographer for the Beautiful Moms campaign. Okay. And she posted a sneak peek and she actually sent people to her blog, which is fantastic because then you can retarget people, which is lovely and glorious. Okay. And she also took it a step farther and she tagged a bunch of different pages, a unique page, the Lesser Me, M&Me, which is, I think, outfits. Okay. This is amazing. I could be wrong about that. Sorry, MME, if you're not outfits. Okay. But she tagged a bunch of people and look at this. She said her reach was way higher than normal, 1,601 with 5 shares and 9 reactions. No comments, but I was sending them away to the actual blog post and there were some comments on the blog post. I tagged several people and businesses, so I'm guessing that's why the reach was high. My normal reach is anywhere from 300 to 600. So I currently have 1,556 followers on the page. Okay. So she had more views on this post for free than she had followers. Are you guys seeing this? Like, you guys, this stuff matters. If you learn to crack the algorithm, it is going to be a game changer for you. If you post those 7 things every week, you will increase your reach, you will increase your relationships, and you will increase your bookings. And at the end of the day, that is why we social, right? That's what we get on Facebook. That's why we get on Instagram. It's not just a waste of time. It's not just a random post and hope that it works. We've got to have a strategy because this is the stuff that works. Okay. So here's what I want to say right now. If you are ready to take your social media to the next level, I'm inviting you to join me for Sparkle Media. And I have this whole slide deck set up, but I'm going to come back on the screen. So everyone cross your fingers and let's pray that this works. I think I'm back. Can you guys see me? Let me minimize this on my screen. Let me know if you guys can see me in the comments right now. Tell me if you're able to see me because I think I just did it successfully. Nikki said she could see me. Yes. Victory, victory. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Sparkle Media. So if you have watched this live class and if you've got questions, throw them in the comments right now. Like, this is a moment where we're going to answer, and I'm minimizing a bunch of screens. Sorry if I look super awkward right now. But if you've got questions about this content, throw them in the comments right now. Make sure you use that hashtag #GlitterDone because we're going to be answering some questions live right now. So here's what I want to say. Once a year, we do a membership drive for Sparkle Media, okay? And for the next 36 hours, you can join us. Normally, this monthly membership is $39 a month, but for today and tomorrow until 9 p.m. tomorrow night, that previous slide said 12 p.m. because I messed it up. It's 9 p.m. Everyone say 9 p.m. Eastern time in the comments so that I know that you know that you know. Okay, and someone says, Wendy says she cannot see the video. Is there a replay? As long as technology recorded this, yes, there will be, Wendy, so don't panic. Okay, but here's what I want you to know. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m., we're closing the doors and the price goes back up to regular price. For the next 36 hours, you can join Sparkle Media for $1 a day. You will not see a low price like this again for the rest of the year. So $31 a month, and you'll lock that in for life. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit about what this is, because what you got to experience, if you did the free coaching series last week, if you watched this live masterclass, you guys, this was basically 1 month of content smashed into like a week and a half. So if you saw growth over the last 10 days, if you felt good for once about your social media, if you increased your confidence, if you saw more reach, you even maybe got some inquiries or even a booking, like this is the workshop for you, because I'm going to show you how to do that like on a grander scale. I couldn't figure out a nice way to say that. Okay, I'm going to show you guys so much more inside of Sparkle Media. And if you're already in Sparkle Media and you're in the chat room right now, like tell us what you guys feel about it and what your experience has been with Sparkle Media, okay? So some of the things that you're going to learn, ready? You're going to understand how social media works within your business. You're going to identify your voice and your ideal client. We'll identify the anatomy of a strong online account. We'll look at Facebook, Facebook Lives, even a little bit of an introduction. It's not a Facebook ads course, but a little bit of an introduction to Facebook ads. We'll look at Instagram, Instagram Live, Insta Stories, video, how to hustle with heart, how to shine online, Pinterest, and so much more. And in fact, this coming month, June, so for those of you that are already in the workshop, this is what's coming in June. Next month, so starting next Monday, so in what, 6 days? We are going to sit down and we're going to create your social media content calendar. So for the month of June, I'm going to walk you through the posts that you need to have on your page, and we're going to actually structure them out so that you will have created 3 months of content in 1 month. So by the end of June, you will have 3 months of content that you can either start posting in July, or if you know your fall is going to be insane, you can schedule it for fall. You are going to create the post and schedule them all so that way you have time and you can just throw up a sneak peek or some behind the scenes or some live organic stuff, live videos that can happen in real time. But your nitty gritty, your home base, your bones of your page, that is going to be scheduled in advance. And I'm really, really excited to lead you guys through that. So that is coming, okay? So this workshop is for you if you are in your first few years of business, you have an established brand, but you're maybe not really doing a great job on social media. Okay. If you saw growth last week and in this live masterclass, if you apply some of the stuff that you learned today and you see a difference tonight, this is for you because I'm going to show you all of this stuff. If you would rather be with your family than slaving online and trying to search and go through all the interwebs to figure out social media, this is the workshop for you because I obsess over this. I geek out over this stuff. Like also my husband, like, oh my gosh, Facebook has this update and he's like, okay. He doesn't care. I do. So let me tell you what the updates are and what you need to pay attention to instead of you having to go hunt it, okay? If you don't have enough time, you need this workshop because I'm going to save you time because I'm going to show you everything that you need to know. If you don't have enough money, and how many of you in the chat who are in the workshop can speak to this? If you're like, oh, I don't have enough money, here's what I want to say, and I love you. Here's what I want to say. If you go to Starbucks once or twice a week, that's going to add up to 1 month of Sparkle Media membership. But that latte doesn't pay for itself. If you have a Birchbox that you get every month, guess what? This is about the same price. Only your lashes aren't going to grow your bank account. Social media will. If you spend an afternoon at a spa once a year, guess what? You could buy 12 months of Sparkle Media and it would be the same price or less. Okay? And you're going to see a return on your investment. Literally, let's say you buy 1 year of Sparkle, and this is a month to month. So I'm just throwing out this example of 1 year. You do not have to lock in for a year. It's month to month. You do whatever you want. Okay. But let's say you do Sparkle Media for a year. Guess what? If you book probably 1, maybe 2 clients from it, just 1 or 2, you're going to get your money back. You're going to get your money back after 1 or 2 clients booking. And I'm telling you right now, you apply what I'm teaching you, you're going to see a difference. You're going to see a difference, okay? So if you are lacking in any of those things, this is for you. Now, however, I'm going to be honest with you. There's some people that this is not the right workshop for, okay? And it does me no good to blow sunshine and tell you like, oh, go buy it, and then have you be unhappy. Like that does me no good. So I'm going to be uber honest. If you're not sure, ask the team, ask myself, message the page, email us. Do not send me a personal message because I will never see it. It goes to like the hidden others message folder. So do not message me personally, message the page or email us, okay? This course is not for you if you're not willing to work hard. If you're looking for a quick fix, you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to register for Sparkle Media and suddenly everything's going to be magic and fixed. Not the workshop for you. This isn't a quick fix. It's only going to work if you do. You've got to be willing to put in the work, believe in yourself, and hustle hard. Okay. If you're not willing to embrace new ways of thinking, I'm going to tell you to do things that people in Facebook groups are going to say, you shouldn't do that. That's not smart. Trust me, I've grown a 6-figure company exclusively with social media. I know this stuff works, okay? If you're not dedicated to improving your photography skills, so I can teach you all the marketing in the world, but if you are not dedicated to becoming a stronger and stronger photographer, okay, you can market all you want, but people, if you don't have solid photo technique behind you, that needs to be your focus first before you look at a more marketing workshop, okay? If you are already growing at a rate of 25 to 45 new followers a week, you probably don't need this workshop. I mean, it might just help, and you might, like, I'm in a Facebook workshop, not because actually 2 of them, not because I don't really already know all the content, but because it helps me sharpen the sword. And it's just a community of people that I enjoy being around. And so I pay one of them $31 a month, and the other one was like $300 for a year. I pay for both of those, even though I know the content, but I just want to have that community and want to sharpen the sword. But if you're already growing at a rate and you're like, well, probably not the workshop for you. Okay. Or this is my pet peeve. If you continually buy workshops and never do them, not the workshop for you. Because then you're not going to be happy with it, and you're going to be like, oh, I didn't really do anything. You're going to want to cancel your membership. They're going to be mad at me. That's like, so if you do workshops or you buy workshops and you never do them, this is not the workshop for you. Okay. Now, earlier I showed you all of those ladies. They are all paying clients inside of Sparkle Media. They're all people who are applying what they've learned and they're succeeding. So here's my question. Do you believe that you can do it too? Do you believe that you can see that page or that change on your own page? Because I think that you joined me on this live masterclass. You spent an hour with me. You even maybe watched the replay, not because you're like, you know what? I need something to do for an hour. Like, no, it's the end of the school year. You're all losing your ever-loving minds. I am too. I get it. Okay. You don't need something else to do. You are here because you're looking for something more, right? And if you create a strong social media strategy, girlfriend, you can make that happen. So I want to ask you, do you believe that this can happen for you as well? Okay. So here's what I want to say as we wrap this up and switch into the live Q&A. Okay. That's all. I'm not going to give you a big sales pitch. Team members, can you guys throw the link? The link is below this chat box. It's up above and below. Click it and you can learn more about the workshop. Go check it out. Ask us if you have questions. I'm not going to do a hard sell. But here's what I want to say. I want you guys to take a selfie, and you'll see some examples. If you look at the hashtag Sparkle Media Workshop, if you go look at that on Instagram, you're going to see some selfies. So here's what I want you to do right now. Grab your phone, take some sort of post or selfie. You can even hold it up and like, I'll smile at the camera here. We can take a selfie together, but take some sort of selfie or show me what your workspace is like right now and post it on Instagram, because I would love to come and see how many of you, I saw a lot of the comments. I see a lot of your names on here, but I don't see everyone. I want to see who is engaging, because I know a lot of you didn't log into the chat and you just watch, because we can see that you're online. So make sure that you post that behind the scenes selfie so that I can see it using hashtag Sparkle Media Workshops. Okay. So go ahead and post that. You guys, I'm going to, like, does everyone have their phones? Let's do a selfie. I'm going to smile really fast. I just feel so silly about this. And then I see your post and I crack up. Okay, so you ready? We're going to smile. I'm going to come on this side of the screen. So you go on that side of the screen. Okay, you ready? Okay, hopefully you guys got a selfie. And if you didn't, let me know. Okay, so here's what I want to do right now. If you are considering Sparkle Media, it's $31 a month, $1 a day. Here's my question. Is your latte or your lashes, is your Birchbox, is your spa day paying for itself? Or is that just an expense? Let's make social media work for you. Go get registered for Sparkle Media or ask us a question using one of those buttons below, okay? I'm going to go ahead and flip into the live Q&A, and Nikki's giving me a little time check. She's telling me I need to wrap this up because I've talked too long, which the first webinar Nikki did with me, I was like, it's going to be like an hour. And it was like an hour and 45 minutes, almost 2 hours. My launch manager, Morgan, yelled at me because I did 2 webinars that day. And she was like, we got to work on that. So good news is I've got to be off of here in 5 minutes to go get my kid off the bus. So we're on. We're like, we're done. Clock is ticking. Okay, live Q&A. Here we go. Can you repeat popular post? Nikki, do you remember the context of that question? I don't fully understand it.
No, because Melissa caught it for me.
Melissa, if you're still in the chat, can you tell me more about that question? Yes, I'm happy to tell you. Oh, wait. Oh, no, I get it. Can you repost, not repeat? Can you repost popular posts? Yes, you can. Actually, it's really cool with live video. You can actually go into the video, click on it, and then you can hit, I think it's the share button. I'd have to have the seat in front of me, but I did this and it was actually really successful. You can hit the share button and there's an option to create. So you can either share it or create new post. So that's a really smart move. I wouldn't do that a lot. I would definitely give it some space in between, but absolutely. I know people, some social media experts that recycle their content, and every 3 months, they're basically posting the same stuff, just maybe wording it a little bit differently, because you've got new followers, you've got people online at different times. So yeah, that's absolutely totally doable. Okay, good question. Okay. When you start getting more engagement on a post, does it become more visible on that post only, or does it make all of your posts more visible? Okay, so here's what we have to know. The algorithm, okay, I want you to think of the algorithm as your pet hamster. Okay, we're all going to pretend for a moment that we have a pet hamster. Okay, and let's say that you are really busy and you're really kind of bad about feeding your hamster. What's going to happen to your hamster? It's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, right? And it's not necessarily going to like get bigger and smaller immediately after one meal, but it's going to be gradual over time. But let's say you are feeding your hamster and you're like, oh, here's some food. Here's some lettuce. Here's some, I don't know what hamsters eat. Here's some carrots. Do hamsters eat carrots? I've seen them eating like mini burritos in like YouTube videos, but like I'm assuming they do. You know what I'm talking about? We're like, right? So yeah. So if you feed that hamster over and over and over time, it's going to grow and it's going to get bigger. And your algorithm is very similar. So if you make one post that goes viral, typically, the post before and after will see a little bit of an increased likelihood that they're going to get seen. That was very ambiguous. Here's what I mean. If you have a post, so overall, we want to feed the algorithm. It's not just one post at a time. It's continual engagement, continual growth, okay? But here's what I want to say. You have a post, it performs really well. Your next post that you put up, Facebook's like, all right, I see you. Okay, so it's going to put that out. Typically, Facebook will put your post out in front of a couple hundred people right away to test the waters to see how it does. If it performs well, it's going to go like, all right, I'll give it a couple hundred more. Okay, all right, give you a couple, and that's your reach, right? So let's say that you have a great post, you do your next post, and Facebook tests the water, and maybe it gives you like 200 people seeing it instead of like 100. Okay, so you've increased your likelihood, you've increased your organic reach, first of all, okay, and people engage with it right away. Facebook's like, yep, this is a good page. Let's explode this. And you're going to see a difference. However, if that follow-up post isn't strong and you post and they give it a lot of exposure and no one really interacts with it, it's probably going to fall really flat. And Facebook's going to look at it almost like a one-hit wonder. So yes, you will see some growth, but I want you to think about this more as an overarching strategy rather than like one post at a time, right? They all kind of go together. Okay. Someone says, how many times should we post a shareable post? I would say once, the more we can get people sharing, the better, truthfully. But if you make a post with the sole intention of having it be a shareable post like that, here's why you shouldn't do your royal name thing. I wouldn't be doing that every single day because that's really not always focused on the content of your page. And so we want to make sure that whatever we're posting still relates to our page and is not completely off the wall. So if you have a shareable post, that's great, but it's not totally on brand. I would kind of keep those limited to like one time a week. But if it's related to your brand, girl, go crazy. Lose your mind. Go do that. That's good stuff. Okay. Someone says they have a hard time with live video and also knowing what to post or say. Plus, she's a nervous introvert. Any ideas? Yeah, girl. So first things first, team members, can you guys post? I've got 2 blog posts that you're going to love. Number 1 is what to say on live video. That is a fantastic blog post. And another one is, I've got another one. It's like lighting for live video, how to repurpose live video. There's a lot of live video tips on there. Go stalk the blog. Can someone post a couple of those links in the comments that will get her started in the right direction? But here's what I want to say to my introverts. I'm married to an introvert. I've got 2 best girlfriends. They're introverts and my children are introverts. I know Valissa on my team is an introvert. Nikki's an extrovert like me. And Christy kind of hovers on, what would you say Christy is? She's in between.
It depends on the subject.
It depends on the subject, and she's not a snuggler. I do know that because I told her, I was like, when I meet you in person for the first time, I'm gonna snuggle. And she was like, no, thank you. It's like, you don't have a choice. We're gonna snuggle. Okay. So I get, believe it or not, I do understand introverts. And here's what I know about introverts. Live video can be tricky for you because you like to think about what you're gonna say. You don't like to misstep or say things that you don't mean, where someone like me who's an extrovert and processes out loud is like, oh, if I look like an idiot, like, nah, who cares? More relatable, right? Okay, so for an introvert, what I would recommend that you do is I would recommend that you have some sort of outline when you go live. Like, here's my title. Here's my introduction. This is what I'm going to say about myself. Here's the 3 main points that I'm going to make. Here's my call to action. Like, here's the question I'm going to ask my people to get them engaging. I would literally write that all out. Give yourself some time, like go get Starbucks, go sit and think about what you want to say and script it out. Like you guys, I could take this question and I could take this on my computer right here and kind of quickly glance over while I'm live. And sometimes I'll even take Post-its and stick it around my computer and no one is ever going to know. I mean, you might see me glance off to the side, but I do that anyways. When I'm thinking, I look all around the place. I look like a lunatic, right? So don't be afraid to go live with notes and don't let that hold you back, because once you start doing live video and you see what it does for your page, you're going to be addicted. And I've had people over, like how many of you have started to do, and you're like, I hate live video. And then you do your first one. You're like, that was horrible. I'm going to try again though. And you try again. You're like, okay, that was better. And you're like, okay, third time's a charm. And then it goes well. And you're like, oh, I like this. Like fess up in the comments. How many of you have done that? Right? So you might find that you actually like it, but don't be afraid to give yourself like, I can go live impromptu. If that's not you, that's okay. Sit down, think about it, make this your own. I go live and talk for an hour, 30 minutes all the time. Maybe you go live for 5 minutes. Good. Progress. I'll take it. Do your best. Yes, that's what matters. Okay, last question. How often should you reintroduce yourself to your followers? Oh, Nikki knows I love this question. How often should you reintroduce yourself to your followers because you gain new people daily? Never. Never. Never, never, never. Pet peeve. Guys, I just looked up and there's a spider dangling, but it's dead, so it's okay. It's a little one. It's fine. Never. Oh my gosh. The Friday introductions drive me. Hey, I have a lot of new followers around here, so I just wanted to say hey and introduce myself. Here's a fun fact. Here's a fun fact. Here's another fun fact that's a little bit embarrassing. Oh, white noise. Everyone is doing it, especially when you guys use the hashtag follow Friday. I'm going to tell you right now, the only people doing a Friday follow and searching that are other creative entrepreneurs. Your clients are not searching that because there's so many people, random people introducing themselves. No, infuse yourself. Let's do a little, people who have been a client of mine for a while. I want you to tell me one thing right now in the comments that you know about me. Okay. So veterans in the comments right now, Stephanie's laughing at me. Tell me one thing you know about me. Okay. Because I infuse myself into my post. You guys know that my husband is like my ride or die. You know that I am an emotional person and he is my rock. You know that I call him my stud. Okay. You know that about me. Not because I did an introduction. It's like, I call my husband my stud. No, because I infuse that into my post. I let my voice shine. I don't have to tell you who I am. I show you who I am. Okay. One thing that we talk about like in Bible study is like, Nikki, do you remember who said it? There was like, was it Paul or someone said like, preach the gospel, use words when necessary. Right. And that's kind of the thing is that, do you remember who said that, Nikki? I don't remember who said it, but it's like a big thing in the church to me, like preach the gospel, use words when necessary, because your actions speak louder than your words. Okay. And if you look at some of the things that are coming up in the comments right now, like Melissa says that Samson likes Starbucks. Yes. And you guys also know that Samson is a nerd, a sinful little selfish puppy dog. Okay, black lab. We had a shock lab. He unfortunately passed away. But we have Samson, and Samson actually got to come to the studio here with me last week because he stole a corn cob from the 2-year-old next door, stole it right off his dang high chair. And so we were concerned that he was going to have like a bowel obstruction, so I couldn't leave him home. I had to bring him to the studio, and he just takes naps in different places. Okay, that tells you who I am. Guess what? I have never done a Friday follow, and I don't think you should either because it feels really artificial. Post a selfie, talk about what you're doing, talk about what matters to you without doing a Friday introduction, without doing like, hey, I have a bunch of new followers. Guess what? If I see that, I'm like, well, I'm an old follower. I've been here. Do I not count? Do I not matter? Why don't you say hi to me? Okay. Love on everyone. Okay. Done. I'm done preaching about that. I can't wait to read what you guys said in the comments right now. I'm done preaching. Okay. So you guys, I have been live way longer. Although the last like what, 15 minutes was like a live Q&A. Nikki's giving me the eyebrows.
220. Hashtag 220.
She's like, hashtag shut up. Hashtag hit the end button. Hashtag we done. Hashtag peace out. Glitter done. What's it going to take to get you to shut up, Cyrissa? Goodness gracious. You guys, that is a live masterclass with Sparkle Society. You are welcome. Nikki, can you come say hi? Will you come wave? Nikki knows now when she comes to a live masterclass, even though she's manning the chat room, she is going to get on camera like every time. So everyone show Nikki some love. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Our lovely Nikki. We love Nikki. But you guys, thank you guys so much for joining us. We had a really lively chat, didn't we?
We did.
That was really good. I liked it. I was seeing the comments fly, and it was funny, like watching them, like my screen would jump and I was like, oh, I can't scroll back and see them. So you guys, thank you so much for providing energy and giving me that to like feed off of. Thank you for asking fantastic questions. Go get your sparkly little butt registered for Sparkle Media. I'm telling you guys, I love this course. I love this course. I watch social media. I obsess over it. I tell you what's going on. And I'm going to tell you what, we've been so focused on this launch, on this membership special, that I haven't been in that group a whole lot the last 2 weeks. And I'm really excited to get back. We start on Monday. Brand new lessons on Monday. I've already filmed them. We filmed them 2 weeks ago. The team is working on getting everything scheduled and posted and ready for you guys this week. I would love to show you how to create 3 months of content in 1 month. Not sure it's worth it? Sign up for 1 month. Give me June. Let me show you what you can do with social media for $31. $1 a day. What sacrifice do you need to make that happen? $1 a day. Give me June. Let me help you create 3 months of content and then watch and see what it does. I'm all up in your face. I'm all up and pointing. But I'm telling you, this stuff works. All right, you guys, I've got to go. I got to go get my kid. He's going to get off the bus and be like, where's my mom? Because I'm not home. So anyways, peace out. Love you guys. I will chat with you later, and I will see your sparkly little butt.